Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Get ready for the Cloudy and Rowdy podcast with Tommy Easter, cocksuckers. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, with a homemade intro and shit. You know what I'm saying? I made that beat the other night at Marty's fucking around on his keyboard and shit. You know, I didn't even know I could make beats and shit, but I got to fucking with it. And I think it was like All White Kyle Monologue, and little Munchkin Tits was in here, Esslinger, and I think Yumma was in here. And I hit that little beat. Dun, 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 boom, boom. Dun, 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 dun. That's what I really want it to be. I want them two beats to be bass and shit. And Yemen was like, damn, Easter, that's dope. If you could loop that shit, somebody could add to it, that'd be a beat. I was like, damn, that is how beats are made. You know what I'm saying? I'm such a dumbass to all that shit, you know? I've listened to rap and music my whole fucking life, and I'm just clueless to things, you know? Like how I was with comedy and shit, you know? Oh, you don't need a resume, you know? No, dumb fuck. You got to grind with a beat. They didn't just keep doing that beat the whole time through a song. You know, I was that naive at one time to think, damn, that's a good dude. That dude's real good on piano to just keep going the whole fucking time, you know?
Loop it.
Yeah, never did it occur to me that you could record yourself doing it perfectly and then just keep playing that shit. Yeah, that's how it works. But whatever, you know? Anyway, that recording you just heard, fuckers, that was me doing it perfectly every single time. Dun, 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 dun. I didn't have no loop, all right? My loop was my middle finger, God damn it. And it gave a big fuck you to the loop, you know, to the loop button. Oh, starting out strong today. Hello, I got a fucking lot of energy, I guess. Fuck, you know. And then my brain just came to a complete stop right after I said that. I was like, got a lot of energy? You know what I did? In the back of my mind, it crept through, I don't have a lighter. And then I'm sitting here looking at 3 cups of coffee due to Jay Green. Shouts out to my boy Jay Green, who gives us great fan feedback. And he told me, listen, Easter, you need to get your goddamn coffee ready, all right? Because we don't need you stopping in the middle of the podcast to go make coffee and shit. You know what I'm saying? So because of my boy Jay Green, who is the motherfucking man, I got 3 cups of coffee. I got a gallon of water. I got some toilet paper in case I need to blow my nose. I got a blunt rolled. I got my phone charged. And right when I was like, we're on a roll, skirt, I was like, fuck, I don't have a lighter. But we're back because Jim Beam has a lighter.
Boom.
Bang, bang, bang. Hell yeah. Let's see. I don't know. I don't have a guest today, which I guess is cool. You know, I was going to talk to y'all about some, you know, I guess we can talk about some shit. You know, somebody told me to listen to Big K.R.I.T the other day, okay? And they just, you know, he country like me from Mississippi. So we have strong family morals and values. We believe in God, all that shit. And I like the fact that dude ain't scared to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? And he said a line in one of his songs. I already heard a line, you know, where he was like, I'm sorry, Mama, I ain't have no wife or no kids, but look at what I did, you know? And it's like, that's one thing that bothers me about my life is I didn't make my mom a grandma, you know, or my dad, you know. They want they want grandparent, they want to be grandparents so bad. I don't know why the fuck I be stumbling over my words so much lately, you know?
Do you have any siblings?
No brothers and sisters.
None.
So the pressure's really on, you know? And it's like, and I brought that up to bring this up. People might not know too much about Tommy Easter, so, you know, fuck it, man. This is one of them real stories, man. You know, I raised the kid for 2 years. I was a dad for 2 years, you know what I'm saying? And then fucking found out through DNA that he really wasn't my kid, you know what I'm saying? So, that's what that, you know, so my mom and dad were grandparents for 2 years. If you think, you know, if you want to peel layers back, you know, we all went through 2 birthdays, 2 Christmases, 2 Halloweens, 2 Thanksgivings, you know what I'm saying? Like, as a family, you know, me as a dad, them as grandparents, you know. I was laying carpet Monday through Friday with my cousin and then delivering pizzas on the weekend, you know, because I was like I was going to be a true dad, you know, and raise them raise them real, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I've always been wild, and everybody knows, like I talked about on the last episode, it was easy for you to do some shit and blame it on me, and people believe it because Thomas is crazy. But everybody seen a change when I thought I was a dad, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was no bullshit, and a real seriousness came over me, and that kid went with me everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And I was proud to be his dad, and I still love him to this day. I named him fucking Thomas Jordan Easter, you know, after Michael Jordan, my favorite basketball player in the world. You know, the bitch was such a conniving bitch. She had no spine. She couldn't tell me this whole time. She just played that game for 9 months like he was my kid. She let me name him. You know, I was in the motherfucking in the room during labor, you know what I'm saying, holding her hand. I cut the fucking umbilical cord. I did all that shit, you know what I'm saying? And when shit hit the fan, and I called the cops on her because she had ran off. And, you know, in the beginning, let me not paint her as the devil completely, okay? In the beginning of the fucking thing, she was cool. We had a good probably 6 to 8 months where we was a real family, and she looked like she was going to be a good mama. And when we first got together, she was a good girlfriend. She was innocent in a lot of ways. She was a spoiled little bitch. She was rich. You know, her mom was a piece of shit. When her mom first met me, I stuck my hand out to shake her hand. That bitch stuck her hand out with her, like, fingers down, like how you're supposed to, like, grab a queen's hand and kiss it. I just pulled that bitch's fingers. Whoop. I said, nice to meet you. Whoop. I just pulled her fingers. I wish y'all could see the act out, but that's what I did, man, because fuck that bitch. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I was working, making good money. You know, I was a salesman at Full Wheel Parts Performance Center. Shout out to that place who gave me an opportunity back when I was a piece of shit, and they helped change my life around in a lot of ways. They taught me professionalism and all that shit, customer service and all that shit. So, and at that time, I was deep into that, and I thought it was very disrespectful the way she treated me, you know. And, you know, I was giving her daughter a place to live at the time, buying that bitch shampoo and tampons and everything else that she didn't have to buy. You know what I'm saying? So for her to come at me like that was bullshit. So the parents didn't like me from day one. We were, you know, my family was below them. They were from a Sugarloaf Parkway, this rich-ass place in Georgia. And, you know, but she was still a good girlfriend at first, man. She was beautiful, you know, a little thin bitch, blonde hair, and she had a fat ass. That was the thing. This tell you how good that ass was, right? She had no titties, but she still got a job at Hooters, all right? Because I was with her when the dude was hiring her. He looked at me, and he goes, no offense, man. He goes, and then he looked at Anna, and he goes, could you stand up, please? And she stood up, and he goes, turn around. She turned around. He goes, yeah, you can get a job here. See, Hooters, you don't really have to, it ain't all about the Hooters all the time. The orange shorts have to look good, too. I was like, you're damn right about that, buddy. I liked where his mind was, you know what I'm saying? So she got hired just off of ass, you know what I'm saying, which was cool. So that and so, like I said, at first she wasn't a straight up whore and a meth fiend that she turned into, you know what I'm saying? And then you know, she was good at hiding all that shit. Little did I know that she was doing all that shit after work, you know, and stuff like that. So I got left probably the last year and a half raising the kid on my own, you know what I'm saying? And then when she got through being a meth junkie, she came to my house and tried to take him one night. And then I called the cops. And then that's when the cops hit me with the news, like, he pulled me to the side. The one cop pulled me to the side, and he goes, look, man, I can tell that you really care about this kid, and the kid's attached to you. He goes, what's the deal? Are y'all married? I was like, nah, man, I didn't make the mistake of marrying her. And he just kind of put his head down. And I was like, wow, what's going on? He goes, because, man, if y'all ain't married, then I have to let her leave with the baby. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean you got to let her leave with the baby? He's my fucking kid, you know? And he goes, no, he's her kid, definitely. We don't know if he's yours or not. Do you got legitimation papers? And that's the first time I'd ever even heard that fucking word. I was like, he's legit, motherfucker. I was like, I signed the baby, the birth certificate. His name is Thomas Jordan Easter. Mine's Thomas Ray Easter. I named him after Michael Jordan, man. He's my kid. And he was like, no, man, I'm talking about like legitimation from the hospital that says his DNA matches yours. And I was like, nah, I ain't got none of that. I was like, what? I was cut the umbilical cord. He was like, look, dude. He was like, I'm sorry, bro, but she gets to leave with this baby. It's hers, you know? And I was fucking furious, you know? And so then weeks go by, and they serve me papers, and they tell me I have to go and get a DNA test that I had to pay for. So I had to pay around $700-800 for a fucking DNA test, and then I found out he wasn't even my kid. 99.9% not my kid after 2 years of raising him, you know? Two birthdays, 2 Christmases, all that shit, 2 Halloweens, dressing him up, right? So then I go to court, and after a bunch of screaming and like, you know, fuck this. By the way, she was in the courtroom with a dress that barely fit her because she was such a skeleton from methamphetamines, right? And I'm telling the judge, I'm like, look at her. You're going to let a baby go with this? Look at her. She can barely stand. Like, I'm just going off. And he goes, look, man. He goes, as shitty as this sounds. He didn't say shitty, but he was just like, look, man, as horrible as this is, he goes, you can either do 2 things. You can claim this kid and pay child support until he's 18, and they have full control whether you see him or not because he's not yours through DNA. He goes, or you can walk out of this courtroom today and act like he was never around, you know, and forget about him. So I was just like, all right, well, you know, I had no choice. I had to leave, you know, I had to go. Because she was already, as soon as he said, and they have full control, she was screaming, you'll never see him, and all that fucking shit. She was a hateful cunt in the end. So I had to just walk away from that shit, you know what I'm saying? So I fucks with Big K.R.I.T. Bang, 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 you know what I'm saying? It took that to
Bring
say
it
that.
back
You know?
around.
Yeah, there you go. Brought it back around. You want to hop on, dog? Oh, shit. We had my podcast. This is why I do my podcast here on Marty's Main Stage. For most of the listeners, they know already. But for this new guest, you know what I'm saying? Tell them your name, homie.
I'm Anyi Malik. I
Malik.
made an appearance.
Oh, you came in
at
the
the
end of
end
one of the
of,
episodes. That's right.
X. When we were in the
Yeah,
back.
episode X.
I was
That's
like,
right.
y'all don't be doing this all the time in the main stage. I was in the, but I didn't want to bring up, you know, I didn't bring the listeners from behind the curtain.
From behind the curtain.
Yeah, the fourth wall or whatever. You know.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Where you from?
I'm from Oakland, California.
Oakland, California?
6 hours north of L.A.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you start comedy out there?
I did.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. Like, shit, a long ass time ago.
How long you been doing it?
More than 10 years, maybe 7 years, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
For
people,
sure.
a lot of comedians got that type of answer. Like I think Jay Green had the similar answer. He was like, well, you know, I've been doing it this long. And then so I asked him, I was like, how long you been doing it strong? And he was like, 3 years, you know, so.
Oh, man, the last 7 years have been the strongest comedy I've ever seen. Just even as a bystander looking at myself. It was just like,
Yeah.
But not to be out of humility, you know what I'm saying? It's just a fair, of course, bias.
Assessment.
Me. but, you know, at the same time, it's also, you know, I'm my hardest critic, so.
Yeah. I think we all
So,
are the hardest
you
critic
know.
on ourselves and shit. How long you
I'm
been in
not
LA?
funny. I'm hilarious, which is fun. It's fun, man. I've been in LA for 9 years.
9 years?
9 years.
Oh, okay.
What's up, baseball hair in the building? That's what I call Kyle Henson.
Call him baseball hair?
Call him baseball hair. He got that pitcher's look. That 80s pitcher.
Do you remember the first stage you hit in LA when you moved here?
I think it was the Ha Ha Cafe.
The haha. So you had already been doing comedy long enough to where it wasn't like, oh no, I'm at the haha and some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I don't think the Ha Ha was very prestigious to me at the time. It still kind of isn't. Nothing against the Ha Ha. It's just like, you know, prestige, and the Ha Ha Cafe don't really don't come up in the same.
They're not in the top 3.
Nah, hell no.
I didn't mention prestigious. I just meant like most comics who come from another state to LA, they're happy to be doing a club. You know what I'm saying? Because they're normally new. Most people move here too
Kind
soon.
of. I mean, the Ha is different because you literally pay to play. You know, so Oh, not that to take anything away from pay-to-play venues.
Yeah.
Especially not the one that we in. But you approach it from a business mind. I found myself negotiating hella shit over at haha. I would be like trying to buy footage and let me buy 10 minutes instead of 5. Like negotiate shit. It was weird too, because you drop them 20, you get how much time you wanted, you get a tape. But I mean, that was my nego. I don't think everybody was getting that rate, but
Yeah, I've never had to pay to go up there, so I don't know. I
I
didn't know they had
to pay,
I didn't know you had to pay at the. I didn't know.
The
I've always
open mic was $5. So,
I've always opened up
and
for
then
Joey.
to do a show, if you on one of the bringer shows and they play you like you ain't got no people here or ain't got enough people here, you just be like, look, I came all the way out here. I'll drop you 10, and they're like, okay. I'm like, well, since we doing that, well, how about I give you 20? I'm from Oakland. I'm from Oakland, man. We always push the bargain. We always push the negotiation envelope a little further. It's like, oh,
I wish I would have known.
oh, I'm buying some stage time. Well, shit, man, here's $15, man. Let me get 10 minutes. Oh, shit, here's the dub. Let me get 10 minutes and let me get the tape. And so I found myself in the negotiations. I mean, I got what I asked for, but it was kind of sleazy that I had to do. But when you're dealing with sleaze and you resort to sleaze,
the Oakland comes out in you.
Yeah, first time I did.
Sure. I was on that. Yo, let me get 2 for the.
Yeah. Listen. It's my podcast. Don't talk over.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to.
Well, you know, when you hear me, my first time I did haha, I took Kyle with me, and he was smashed, of course. I was like, God, I hope Joey don't show up today and meet Kyle right now. But it was fun, you know what I'm saying? We was in the green room and shit, hanging out, and I got up there and fucking I was still like, I don't know the ins and outs to comedy. I'm not a comedy nerd. I don't fucking study it like most comics. So I didn't know that if you didn't see the light, you was supposed to just stay up there. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker told me I had 5 minutes. I went up there, I did 5 minutes. He didn't give me the light, but I didn't want to. I thought maybe I missed it. I know my 5 minute set. I know I'm at 5 minutes right now. So I was like, all right, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm going to bring back the host of the show. He's a bad motherfucker, Jack Jr., you know what I'm saying? And then, Jack comes running up frantic, right? He gets the mic and da-da-da-da, and he brings the next guy, and then he came right off the stage and found me. He was like, I didn't give you the light, man. Why didn't you stay on stage? I was like, fuck, I thought I missed it. He was like, no, that ain't how it works, dude. He goes, you was doing good, so I was going to let you stay up there another 5 minutes.
You know what he says? He says, this is my show, and when I talk, you shut up and listen.
If you don't like it, you can bounce. I mean, this is my podcast, and they listen for me. You know what I'm saying?
I was making a joke about what you're talking about.
Damn, you absolutely.
Well, I don't fuck around.
You a nihilist. you
No, I mean, I just like it to go at a certain pace, and I don't need it to be slowed down. You know what I'm saying?
You infallible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, irritable.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
I say infallible. Like you never do wrong. But.
Either way, it's L.A.
So when should we talk about? When's is it cool to ask this question right now? Mr. Easter son.
Yeah. What's up?
What kind of things can we talk about? Is it time to talk? I hope I'm not speaking. You did say yes, sir. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to undermine the permission that you just granted me on your forum, because it is your forum.
It is. That was the point I was making. And I need people to recognize that.
No, I didn't.
People get up here and they do a lot of talking while I'm talking, and that was one of the fan things that they said. Tell them people to stop talking when Easter's talking. They want to hear me. You know what I'm saying? I'll ask y'all the questions, answer them. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to apologize to you and the fans for maybe overshadowing and maybe overstepping my verbal boundaries.
Thank you. Thank you. The Cloudy and Rowdy podcast appreciates it. So you just started working with us on the block. You liking that shit?
I can't really say that I work with you guys.
Right?
I don't really have a job. I'm
You just started showing up with a blue shirt on. How do you like it?
I don't even really wear the shirt can come on and all. I wear I put a sweater on. It's really just I just want to hang out with you guys out on the Hollywood Boulevard.
Having fun is what he told me.
It is fun.
I just want to hang out with you guys, and so if I have to wear a shirt to kick it with y'all, I'm willing to do that for an hour or two, just to be a part of the energy that because I'm usually around Hollywood Boulevard, just bored out of my mind, and just not bored out of my. You got to get out the house. I live in the area, so I got to get out the house, and then when I get out the house, it's like, damn, what am I doing now? I should go back home.
Have you made a sale yet?
Have I made a sale? Yeah, I've helped facilitate. I've helped facilitate a tour.
So that's cool, man.
Connect somebody with a tour, but I didn't really, I'm not really saying that I made money like that. But I did have a lot of laughs and kind of pass a lot of time. I usually go up there without the shirt and just hang out. That's what compelled me to say, you know what, you guys. What made me do it was didn't have a shirt on and somebody was asking me questions about shit. And I'm like, dude, look, this ain't got nothing to do. And then I saw the transaction happen. And I was like, well, shit, if it was, I probably could have made I don't know, you guys don't get that much out there to be out there like that. But
yeah, that's why today
I was like, even $5, I'm sorry.
I gave it very little chance today. You know what I'm saying? I got out there at like 11 and I was already leaving at 12:15, 12:30.
Missed it.
I was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm out of here. It's not worth it, man. If you're not making sales, then what the fuck?
You got to be in it for spiritual reasons. I'll be out there to enjoy the day.
Spiritual reasons.
You got to be out there to just enjoy the day. It ain't a job. So
if you was if you really want to just sit out there and holler at bitches all day, that would be the best place to do it.
I'm not a holler. I'm not on the hunt like that. I'm more of a safari individual. But even that is like a good habitat environment to see a lot of beautiful individuals.
There's a guy out there, his name's Jack, and he came around for like 3 months, and the guy owns a minor league soccer team. He's got a lot of money, and he wouldn't sell shit, but every day be out there talking to girls and loving life and just.
What's that mean?
Raise it up a little bit. He knows.
Speaking to the
I'm
mic,
literally
man.
talking.
The listeners can't
go
hear
any
you.
closer.
The listeners can't. It's hard to listen when you when you're not speaking.
By this
directly.
point, Kyle knows better. We should have even had to stop track.
The producer's the only one with headphones, so don't argue with him.
I won't argue with the
knows
host or the producer.
Yeah, I'm sorry
or,
if I'm overstepping.
any
That's the producer's job.
At this point, Kyle, you should just trust me, man.
Forget I said anything
This is something
about
he does
Jack.
all the time.
No,
Man, you know what,
literally,
Kyle?
I'm
This
talking
doesn't
into
surprise
the
me.
mic.
This doesn't surprise
Turn
me
it up
one
on the
bit.
thing then.
What were you saying?
So the guy named Jack, he always would come in and would just sell and hit on chicks and like talk to us and stuff, but he wasn't really trying to make any money out there. He was just enjoying his time.
Yeah, like Isan used to do.
Yeah.
Or like Anyi does.
And that little Mexican dude before him that stole the money from y'all.
Yeah, tell him
I was
about
like,
that.
what the fuck is this kid even doing? He would
just
just
hang out.
stand there. He looked like that little Mexican on a cartoon with the straw in his mouth, and he'd look up every now and go, "Hola." That was all he did. That was basically his character. He would stand somewhere every day with a flyer, and kind of like Cherie. Cherie just stands there and smiles.
just holds up
Just holds up her flyer. That dude, he did less. He would just stand there, kind of with his like arms crossed, his hand down, and with his hand out with a flyer.
Was he able to make any sales?
He got sneaky little bullshit sales. He would run over to the van and be sitting in it, and people would walk up and be like, "What is this?" And he'd be like, "Oh, it's a tour," and fucking make a fucking little shitty sale like that.
Tell us why he doesn't work there anymore. What happened with that?
You know more than that.
okay.
I don't.
Well,
I don't know.
Simple enough. The dude took $120 and was supposed to give it to the worker, to the driver for doing his tours. He just didn't give it to him and left, and we never saw him again. Over $120.
What an idiot. So Julio was like, "Here, go pay Walter." Probably.
Yep. And then he waited for him, and then Walter was, he said goodbye to Walter, and then acted like, "I'm sorry, I'll see you later."
Damn.
Over 120. You know how much money we get at any given time? It's like he could have timed that way better and walked away. And walked away with like $2,000 or something, probably.
Anything, but yeah, he completely left during the summer for 120.
Oh, what an idiot. God.
Pour out some liquor for that dude.
So Halloween was a fucking blast, right? We for those who don't come to California or know about California, they have a spot in Santa Monica. It's not a spot. They just closed down Santa Monica, a whole street. It's kind of like a New Year's celebration. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
but
West
it's Halloween.
In West Hollywood.
Yeah, in West
Santa
Hollywood.
Monica on West.
So it's just all just man ass, woman ass, every kind of ass.
It's not for children.
Fake ass, real ass. It's just insane out there, man. It was wild.
Million people.
Was there a million
Asinine.
this year?
That's what I read online. It's what throughout the whole night, they estimated at least 1 million.
Oh, it had
'Cause
to
it
be.
was as many people were pouring in as they were pouring
Yeah,
out.
yeah. When we were leaving, they
Yeah.
were just still like, I mean, in the droves, if that's the word. They just coming through, man. I was like, holy shit. It was weird because, like, it's weird how people see the same shit, though. Like, remember we seen that person with the big fucking fake tits and ass that was obviously supposed to be Kim Kardashian probably or something. Like, everybody took pictures of that dude and put it on Facebook and shit. I remember seeing him coming in and shit when I was leaving. It's crazy, man. That fucking bird thing, it was like 80 foot.
It looked like it could really fly. It was the wings were so big.
Right? That fucking thing looked like it could really fly. Jeff Scott, shouts out to Jeff Scott. He looked amazing. He was like some form of it.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, but the movie, he was one of the characters or something.
Yeah.
Had a big old mask and the full deal.
Fuck, it was crazy, man. It looked like his head was melting off or something, man. And he had this little minion following him around on a go-kart.
Skeleton.
With like a big T-Rex skeleton on it or something.
Or he's like a skeleton horse.
Skeleton horse, yeah. That shit was dope, man.
You do anything for Halloween?
I beat Zelda on the Nintendo Switch. It was good. It was visually incredible on a projector screen. So really brought out a lot of the visual nuances of the program, man. The developers and programmers of Zelda: The Breath of the Wild, man, they did an amazing job. They put their toe in that game.
And you toe it up.
I did tear it up. I was nervous about facing Calamity Ganon head on, even though I had been eligible for battle, righteous battle. You could, it's an open game. You can go confront him anytime you want, but
if you ain't ready, he'll whoop that ass.
Right, it'd be futile. And then I've been ready for a while, but I just, I wasn't mentally ready. But then, Halloween, I was like, you know what, you go to a Halloween party, but you know what, man, this is the night of ghouls, ghosts, and goblins. But I'm a beast myself, so I went over there to Hyrule Castle and just handled it.
Handled business, Hyrule style. Fucking, I know a lot of y'all seen the pictures on Facebook, but I didn't actually sneak in the Comedy Store. Okay, I did go by the Comedy Store. You know what I'm saying? And
very good angles.
Yeah. The pictures I took were on purpose. I purposely took the pictures to make it look like me and Jay Green was standing on the other side of the wall. Well, we weren't standing on the other side of the wall.
Y'all not allowed to go to the Comedy Store?
I'm banned.
You're banned from the Comedy Store?
Yeah.
Why?
I choked out John Caparulo one night.
Oh, man, wow.
For trying to sneak punch Uncle Joey Diaz.
Damn.
Back when I opened for Joey Diaz.
Damn.
And long story short, he ain't do shit about it. And he didn't get me
store?
unbanned, so I don't fucking talk to Joey no more.
At the Comedy Store or somewhere else?
Yeah, and at the Comedy Store.
Oh, you fought at the club? I
didn't fight anybody. I grabbed him by his fat throat.
Okay.
And made him, stopped him from sneak punching somebody.
Okay.
Which, if security had balls there, they would have done that job. But no, they were too busy trying to push people away and shoo people away instead of actually grabbing a motherfucker. So it's whatever, man.
You can't be saving dudes, man.
Hey, I thought like everybody else thought it's the almighty Joey Diaz. I figured I'd be allowed back in there the next day. I figured I'd be back in there with like, hey, thanks for what you did for Uncle Joey. That was a good job, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, But no, they're a snowflake-ass little pussy ran store.
You don't get no.
And they fucking, they
saving
banned me.
dude.
It's been 2 years, and I still can't go back over some little bitch shit like that. So it's whatever.
Be saving dudes, man. Oh man, damn. Like if it was a woman, you probably could have intervened, but that's
I don't give a fuck. It was
you
about
nobody's.
he's
Not that great to where you to save him from.
That was
not even the great Joey Diaz is above that sort of.
No, it wasn't about that.
That's between the two of them.
Wasn't about that. It was about
punch. That's for John Caparulo to suffer them consequences. You wouldn't have been able to save nothing. That's a man. I wish I could have intervened with you for your intervene, because I'll be like, man, they don't, because once you fight in the buildings of these places too, it already puts a soggy
See, that's the problem with
situation on your shit.
California and the softness out here. It wasn't a fight. I didn't punch nobody, okay?
But it was physical altercation.
Joey spit in his face. Everybody grabbed Joey instead of him. That motherfucker had free reign. He was coming down the hallway full speed, so I grabbed him by his throat and stopped him. That's it. Grabbed him under his chin, above his esophagus. He didn't get hurt. There was no harm done. Wasn't no fight.
But you wasn't sanctioned to do that. You stepped
Doesn't matter if I was sanctioned.
It does.
Point is, I knew Joey. I didn't know him. I took up for somebody I knew.
That's what I'm saying. Though.
Okay,
you intervened and you shouldn't have. And you was in their property, and that's what happened to you. They was in their right, just like you felt like you was within your rights And it's not even some shit that it was just like a liability thing. You got to understand the business mind that these people
I
is
already
fucking
understand all that, and I don't give a fuck about it.
All right, well that's
So
cool
that's
too,
the point.
man. It's interesting though.
You tripping on you
I'm
worried
not
about
tripping.
something.
I'm not.
Well,
you know.
you harking on something I don't give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck about that goddamn business shit. I know about the business shit. I've been a business. I had a tile company. I know the motherfucking ins and outs. I took up somebody I knew over somebody I didn't know, and they acting like some hoes about it. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Don't need to be nothing else said about it. I don't care what your point of view is on it is
I don't
anymore.
care that you don't care.
You know what I'm saying?
You know,
Good.
That's okay. I'm still.
You've had a
gonna
good time
offer
on my podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Damn,
You
I
can
guess
leave
I'm
whenever
getting
you
thrown
want
off.
to. Yep.
Well, man, thank you, man, for the opportunity. I know we
Yeah,
disagree.
anytime.
It ends in disagreement, but that's that's part of the. That's a part of the.
Yeah, that's part of it.
That's a part of the coolness of
Life.
of us being able to do that. You know what I mean? But man, I appreciate that though, dog.
Yeah, have a
but
good
you
day.
know, stay up and stay
I do
blessed.
stay up all the time.
That was like a,
So,
like a parting greeting.
Yeah, I forgot where I was at. I forgot where I was even going with that shit because I got interrupted by some bullshit. So, I don't know. Oh, yeah, I didn't sneak in there. You know what I'm saying? Because I do understand the business side of things, and I didn't want to disrespect the Comedy Store. So, I just took pictures outside. I seen Brian Moses can attest to the fact that I didn't sneak in there because I seen him order from the front bar. And I was like, what's up, boy? You ain't no good at basketball, because we play ball together.
Right.
And he was like, I recognize that voice. Who is that? And I lifted my mask, and he was like, you can't say that on this side of the wall. And I was like, good one, motherfucker, so.
I love how it was just like a big joke that you're like everybody knows you shouldn't be banned from there, but everyone's like, Easter's banned. You're like, no, this is real life. Like I should be able to come in there. Like,
Yeah, I know. That's what I was trying to explain to the last person on the fucking podcast, but he couldn't understand that for some reason. So, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's why, hey, it's still an open format for Marty. That's why I like this, because controversy comes on my podcast every now and then. I have to shut it down. That's just how I work. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be filling that shit the rest of the podcast. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, here's somebody who actually knows more of the story and not just coming in at the end and feels the same way that I feel like all my listeners and fans feel that I shouldn't be banned. That's bullshit. I was taken up for Joey fucking Diaz in the end. You know what I'm saying? And Rogan makes them sound like they're such fucking gods up there. And I just want y'all to know that, because I feel like it's been so long, some of y'all might be like, well, it must be Tommy Easter. No, it ain't me, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? The reason I don't talk to Joey is because I feel like he should have had me back in there the next day. He's fucking Joey Diaz. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what y'all don't know, I'll say this one thing about it, because I said I wasn't going to talk about me and Joey's personal shit. But what y'all don't know is, after that happened, for the next 3 or 4 phone calls from Joey, I would ask him about it. I'd be like, hey, Joey, did you talk to the Comedy Store, man? Do you think you can get me back in there? And he fucking snapped on me one day and was like, you know what? I do a lot for you, Tommy Easter. You fucking talk. You ask me about that Comedy Store every fucking phone call now. I'll tell you what, kid, you ask me about it one more time, I'm not going to help you anymore. I'm not going to answer your phone calls. So do y'all not understand? I couldn't ask that motherfucker about the Comedy Store or even mention it for like the next year, because he threatened me with, I won't even answer your phone calls no more and shit. And I didn't want that shit to happen. That was still my fucking role model, my idol, Joey Diaz. I didn't want him to not answer my phone calls. But that was the 3rd, 4th fucking time I asked about it after it happened. He snapped on me about it. So there's a lot y'all don't fucking know, man. I know y'all feel like, just like I felt at first, what the fuck? He should have been able to get you right back in the store. Exactly. And that's why I don't talk to him. And that's all I'm going to say about that shit, because it does go deeper. But I don't want y'all to not love Joey, because I know he does a lot for y'all on the kicking the drug habit side of the thing and like getting out of depression side of the game and all that shit that I can't help y'all with. You know what I'm saying? So there's no lost love, just disappointment. You know what I'm saying?
Easter will lead you to drugs, as what?
And depression.
And depression. From oppression to depression.
No, man, I've been through a lot. I go through a lot, but I stay smiling and I stay joking. You know what I'm saying? I come in sometimes in a bad mood, but I don't leave fucked up. I usually make y'all laugh at least one time in the night between the fuck offs and the suck dicks.
I'll see Easter. I'll be like, oh, good morning, buddy. And he's like, what's up, fuck dick?
No, I don't say that was a stupid combination of words.
mean.
I'll say like, "What's up, dick suck?"
See?
or bitch dick. I don't say fuck dick. That was
It was similar words.
I had shit I was gonna talk about, man, and I fucking forgot. Oh well, you know. Episode 15, going strong. Bang, 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 you know? I think I'm going to roll this other blunt up. That's what I should do. You know what I'm saying? Here, why don't you get on that there, young Kyle?
I need a hand to roll.
Well, you know, I'm going to try and like...
entertain the troops.
I'm going to try and entertain the troops, the fucking Easter Army. Hello? I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? We need all kinds of shirts. You know what I'm saying? We need bang, bang, bang shirts. I want the Easter Army shirts. I want happily angry.
You should just run down to the fashion district one day.
Yeah, but this is the thing with the fashion district people, for all of y'all that think like Jim, all right?
Jeremy.
I gotta start calling you Jeremy more. That was something else Jay Green, I think, said. He was like, you gotta stop calling Jeremy Jim. That a lot of them places, they won't let me just go down there and be like, hey, make 5 of these, 5 of these, 5 of these, 5 of these. It's like 20-something, 20-something, 20-something. Yeah. So I have to buy in bulk. And last time I bought shirts, Shelly Berkowitz was the only one that bought one. And I think this one dude with a Latin name, something Arullo or something, he sent me $10 on Venmo, but he just put $10 for hello or for bang, bang, bang or something like that. He didn't say it was for a shirt or anything. So thanks for that $10, bro. But if you want a shirt, send me 15 more and what size and your address. This is how Shelly did it. She put all that shit in the Venmo thing. She was like, this is for the shirt, extra large, address, boom, boom, boom. She put all that shit right in the little Venmo text message.
Yeah.
And
tell us Shelly's address.
I didn't. And then I got her the shirt, packaged it up. Hell, I sent her 2. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now's the time to buy from Tommy Easter. I'm feeling generous, you know?
We need to get you a Clowny and Rowdy PayPal set up.
Right.
For everybody, yeah.
I think I had PayPal at once, but I fucked it off. And so now I switched to Venmo because my buddy Ken Diesel.
See, Venmo is public, right? I don't use Venmo, but that's like everyone can see everyone's transactions. Am I right, Kyle? Anybody?
Right.
No? Oh. Yeah, I don't have money. Kyle's broke.
No, Venmo, you can creep on people. You can see you can see why people are paying motherfuckers and shit.
Yeah.
You can be like, what the hell's my wife doing sending this motherfucker money? Boy, you can catch them up, boy.
For an extra large bang, bang, bang. What's that?
For an extra large bang, bang, bang. This bitch. You're going to find out she's just ordering him a T-shirt because he listens to my podcast. Hell yeah, that would be fun. Oh, man. Yeah, man. I don't know what to talk about, you know? They done brought up that Comedy Store shit. That shit pisses me off, man. Dave Chappelle, Mos Def's been there.
Oh, yeah, that
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm banned over some pussy shit. You know, there's people that's banned over real shit, and I'm banned over some pussy shit. And I'm funnier than them motherfuckers, man. You know, that's what gets on my nerves. You know, it's like, I ain't make it because of my looks and shit. You know what I'm saying? Right? My material.
White privilege.
Is the only thing that gets me anywhere. And it should be in there. It should be, you know, I don't know. It's just frustrating. You know what I'm saying? That was another thing. I was watching Big K.R.I.T's interview on Breakfast Club and shit, and he was talking about, you know, The Price of Fame, that song, The Price of Fame. I was talking about that on my last podcast, too, already, though, about how it's just like, you can do all this good shit, but I still go back to that fucking van and go to sleep, you know? And it's like, I don't know. Going to the comedy store ain't gonna change that, but fuck. You never know, right? I mean, it could.
Man, I mean, yeah, because you go, like, what's crazy about the store, it's a gamble as a comic, because, like, people don't know, comedians can go in there for free if there's free seats. Any of a room, you can sit in the back. And then late at night, I think it's like almost like a lottery, because there's been so many nights I've sat in there and only watched Don Barris talk to 3 people, and nothing happens. Yeah. But then that one night, Dave Chappelle pops in with Mos Def to 3 people in the room, and then goes for the next 2 hours, and you're like, holy shit, this is insane that I'm even sitting here right now.
And so, like, somebody like me, not to like sound cocky or toot my fucking horn, but somebody like me that when I see a comic like that, I click right into fucking comedy mind, like professional mode. I'm like, oh, Chappelle's on stage. Let me see if I can learn some shit.
Right.
You know? And I watch him with a fucking learning eye. I'm not up there fanboying him and shit. You know what I'm saying?
He's on stage. He knows what he's smart.
And there's another thing, man, that pisses me off is like, I know how fucking likable I am. You know what I'm talking about? Not to be a cocky motherfucker, man, but I know how likable I am. And I know that I'm not one of these fake-ass, flake-ass fucking Hollywood people. So somebody like Chappelle or if someone like that was to like fuck with me, I don't fuck people over. You know what I'm talking about? If I give you my word, it's my fucking word, bro. That's what I was raised on. If I tell you, motherfucker, I'll be there, I'm gonna fucking be there. The only thing stopping me is getting arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only thing. And it's like, so I think that a lot of these people fear that shit. They're like, as soon as I fucking meet the right person, it's over for these motherfuckers because they're going to fall in love with how real I am, how much they can trust me. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a drug addiction that's going to fuck up my interview, you know? Oh, he didn't make it because he banged heroin right before that. That's never going to happen to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to always make my appointment. I'm going to always be on the fucking stage. I'm going to do my time. I don't get too drunk to where I fucking, got a DUI on the way to the fucking show or where I got so drunk that I was bullshit on stage. I don't fucking drink, Like, when it comes to comedy, it's all professionalism from Tommy Easter. You know what I'm saying? Just like on this podcast. Just like on fucking anything I do, Like I said, my tile work. I took pride in that shit. I wanted motherfuckers to look at it and say, you did a good job. I didn't want them to look at it and say, oh, thanks for doing it. Anybody can get a thank you, but only good motherfuckers get good job. You know what I'm saying? So when I do finally it's just patience, man, because when I do finally meet some of these motherfuckers and when I do finally meet the right person and he tries to hit me with that sucker shit, I'm going to hit him back with that real shit, and he's going to be like, damn, this motherfucker really is the real deal. You know what I'm saying? And then they're going to automatically want to fuck with that. I'm not going to fluke on them, I'm one of them people, if you take care of me, I'll be so grateful that I'll fuck with you forever type person. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they don't have in this town. It's a town full of entitled motherfuckers who's always had it or they've already had it before. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of these people in this town, they had it 10 years ago or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So if they get a chance again, they're not even grateful. I see a lot of these motherfuckers get opportunities and they're not even fucking grateful. You know how fucking grateful I was to be able to open for Joey Diaz? I bragged about that shit all the time. That's all me and my mom would talk about. You still talk to Joey? She would ask me because she knows how quick my temper is, how quick I am to fuck something up in my life, how bad of luck my life has had. So, fuck, man. These motherfuckers get some of the best opportunities and be like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. Who get, motherfucker? Like Joey said, you don't want that 12:30, 1 o'clock spot at the Comedy Store, motherfucker? Put a list out. See how many people in L.A. show up for it. If they was to put on Facebook tonight, there's a 1 o'clock spot at the Comedy Store.
Minutes.
Comics come and line up. You know how many motherfuckers would be there right now? Lineup starts at 7. Right. You know how many people would be there at 7 p.m. for a 1 o'clock in the morning spot?
Even open my,
That's the problem with this town. I feel like it's not giving enough chances to new motherfuckers. They just want to stay stuck on these people they've seen for so long, And it's like, yeah, I know that's the safe way. Okay, use 3 comics that you know for a fact and give a new comic a chance every show type shit.
Well,
there's not enough of that. You have to get in their little fucking friend zone. You have to coddle their balls while the other one's sucking his dick. You have to do all this stupid shit. How about you just see one of us at a show and be like, damn, dude, you was funny, bro. You want to fucking come do my show? That shit rarely happens on the big level. I get booked like that off of the small level all the time. Anybody in LA who has a fucking show and sees me on stage, it's common sense. They're like, damn, he's good. I want him on my show. That's how it works. Us small fish, we swim around with each other all the time. It's them big fish who that get amnesia. You know what I'm saying? When they get put in that other tank. And it's like, motherfucker, why don't you pull one of us over here and see if we can swim some laps? Hello? I think this is it too. Is like the old school comics had to work so hard at it. They didn't have social media. They didn't have mics every night of the week. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of them feel that we have it easier. You know, and I don't even know if they. Maybe I'm putting words in their mouth about that, but I definitely know that a lot of them feel like we haven't earned it yet. Let's say, but I feel like a 3 to 5 year comic these days is the equivalent of a 7-year comic from back in the day, because if you're really going on it, you know, like if you're one of these guys who are out there every night hitting stages, bang, 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 3 to 5 years straight, you're gonna be strong. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different time, bro. Shit changes, you know? Just like football players and basketball players, they're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster than ever. Comics can develop faster than ever nowadays with platforms and places like Marty's.
Especially in LA, New York.
Yeah, places like Marty's, man, but where people can come here early and do 30, 40 fucking minutes.
Except for on Saturdays. No, just because we were on the stage at that time.
Early, yeah.
Yeah,
but
we
the
get
rest of the
started
night,
before it starts, though. Yeah, we don't start primed. It's not like
Yeah, sarcasm.
I know.
just a lot of a lot of little hidden sarcasm to diss the Cloudy and Rowdy podcast today. It seems like.
No, I was making a joke.
I think you need to work on your joke skills, Kyle.
You're welcome.
You know, another thing, though, I think it's really hard that, like, comics that came up earlier on than we did. And it's not an excuse, it's just an explanation. Like, in LA specifically, you can do 3 or 4 mics a night, but maybe one of those mics might be, like, really badass and have a great crowd, and everyone that's in the scene's there. Like, you know, there's a few nights like that when it's like, oh, everyone's at this mic. But then for the most part, you go to these mics and you're talking to 2 or 3 people in the room. And it's like, and it takes a lot of those mics to build your development. Because you were saying, we were talking on the back patio that one night about you were having that joke that had you done it here, you wouldn't have known it would have hit. But you did it opening for Joey. I forgot what it was. And it killed. And you're like, oh, this works. We were talking about like your opener or something.
Oh, yeah.
You remember what we were saying? But it's like, and
That's
it's
right.
so hard to gauge your material as a comedian when you get up in front of 2
The
or 3
tranny
people.
joke. I blew a tranny
yeah,
joke.
Yeah, you were
Yeah,
saying, but
like
you
I
did
said,
it in the audience, and it.
Yeah, like if I would have just only had to do that joke here, then I would have never known that it gets so much crowd reaction. You know, that joke is kind of like a crowd work joke, but it's not. I didn't write it to be a crowd work joke, but it naturally developed into one. It's weird. It's like, so what I was telling them last night was when I first wrote that joke and I did it here, no one gave a fuck. You know what I'm saying? It was like I blew a tranny in my van. My transmission. They reacted to the punchline, you know, because they're comics and they're waiting on a punchline. And then, like, so they reacted enough to the punchline where I was like, all right, I'll throw that in there. But then doing shows with Joey taught me that it's when I say I blew a tranny in my van, that's when normal people do shit like, whoa, they'll say shit. Like sometimes people will be like, oh, or ooh, or gross, you know? And it just sets me up to go, my transmission. Come on now. LA didn't change me that fast. And then they all like have this relief laugh and shit. It's real funny. It's a real good moment, you know?
There's multiple levels to it. Like the joke is even before the punchline. Like,
Yeah, in a way, yeah. And then like I was telling them, being able to do that in front of a real crowd and see their reaction taught me to, you know, gave me the confidence to keep that bit. Because if I'd have done it at open mics, comedians would have never, I probably would have abandoned it. I would have probably thought, this ain't that strong. They barely laugh at the punchline, you know?
Yeah, there's jokes that like you say because you really want to say them. Like you have fun, like the Uncle Worm. I'm sure you have fun like telling jokes and stuff about that. But then there's other jokes that you kind of like, yeah, you know it's funny, but it gets a way bigger laugh. You're like, fuck, I'm going to keep saying that shit. It's funny.
Yeah, right?
Well, like, I find it interesting to think, like, if, like, I really like Andy Kaufman. Let's use him. Had he started in 2017, like, he got Mitzi Shore. He was like, oh, I like him. Let's develop him. And he got the Comedy Store as his home base so that he could do all that shit. Allegedly. I'm sure he got it.
Well,
everywhere
that's
else.
the thing
But, like,
that's missing.
If he got up now, if you saw Andy Kaufman on stage here to 2 people, it'd be like, what the
Well, it
fuck
wouldn't
is
be
this
here.
guy doing?
Let's say Comedy Store. It'd be up to that little Adam Egert punk to fucking decide whether he gets booked again or not. You know, that's the problem with that place. There's no Mitzi there anymore.
You wouldn't have it
that has an eye and that's willing to let someone develop. That place, you're supposed to fucking have the headliners that are smashers that are going to definitely be able to hold ground every night. But then she used to slip in, there's a reason Joey Diaz got passed in 2 weeks. It ain't because he was the funniest person she'd ever fucking seen. It's because it was the first of his kind. Like, it was the only of his kind. She needed a New York, Jersey-style dude in there. He looks big in Mafia. He has a Hollywood look. He looked good at the Comedy Store on that stage. Whether he was fucking funny or not, he still had a look. You know what I'm saying? Something that might stay in somebody's mind. Where'd I go? And I went to that plant. Oh, remember that guy? He looked all Mafia. Like, just you'd be surprised what you remember. You know what I'm saying?
Looks like he's on Sopranos.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, exactly. You don't even know.
Yeah.
Their memory might have thought that.
Yeah.
So, and Mitzi was smart enough to understand that shit. You know? Okay, this guy's got a look, a stage presence. Let's let him make this his home, and that'll give him the confidence to come here every night and keep doing comedy and build himself into a better comic. And because Joey got passed at that Comedy Store, it kept him in it for 30 fucking years. And they don't know the fucking magic behind that shit anymore. There's no one up there that understands that anymore. They're all little fucking pricks who you got to be friends with them before they'll fucking give you a chance. And that ain't how comedy's supposed to be. You're supposed to be the funniest, not the friendliest, you know? What the fuck?
I recently heard an interview with Jim Carrey. He was on Howard Stern, and he was talking about one night on the main stage when he changed his act to be like the Jim Carrey we know, like Ace Ventura. He bombed on stage every day for like 2 months in a row, maybe even longer. And I was thinking about when he said that, like, if a comic today was to go into the main stage and bomb, he would not make it a week straight before you'd see him off the lineup forever. Like, there's no way he would let a comic bomb every day for 2 months.
Exactly.
While he figures himself out. They got that expectation now where they couldn't just freely be like, all right, I'm going to try one-liners tonight. All right, I'm going to try act-outs tonight. Okay, I'm going to try character work tonight. They'd be like, you're done. Go to the belly room and
Yeah, exactly.
hide.
But that's the thing. Mitzi, she had foresight, and she was very good at it, you know? And so she would fucking give motherfuckers a chance, whether she thought they were funny or not. You know, it's like, of course, that mattered. Of course, she would pick the funny people, too, but there was also people that, you know, she could just see, all right, if I work with him, if he comes to this club every night and he works here and he has confidence, he can be something, you know?
You almost had her cadence. Well, I know.
I've never talked to her.
Yeah, me neither. But that's my impersonation of people doing her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What up?
Hold the mic to your mouth. Introduce yourself.
What up, everybody? Crowd monologue.
We call him All White Kyle.
All white Kyle.
Kyle monologue.
Kyle monologue.
Cryo monologue.
Crowd monologue.
All cry Kyle.
All cry Kyle.
He's
All
got a
gay
lot of
Kyle.
names. All gay Kyle.
All gay
a
Kyle.
lot of tongue twisters.
But what's your real last name?
Monaghan.
Monaghan.
I bet you can't spell it. It's like restaurant. You're like, where did I put the U?
Restaurant. Yeah, what a shitty word to spell. God.
It's cool to be on the podcast. I'm an avid listener.
Hey, welcome, bro. Thanks.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Fucking right.
Fuck yeah, brother. Where you from, All White Kyle?
I am from a little town outside of Philly called Lancaster, home of the Amish in Pennsylvania.
Did you grow up Amish?
But I grew up down the road. I grew up on farms working with them. So I worked with them my whole life.
Really?
Yeah, I know so many Amish people.
You'd make them jealous when you bring power tools?
Kinda. It's actually fun because like we'd exchange like they party. Like the idea that they don't party and stuff and they all do it like during Rumspringa is wrong. They're crazy, dude. Drinking with an Amish guy, he will drink anybody under the bus.
I'm glad you remembered Rumspringa because I was about to call it Peppersnickle or something. I don't know what the fuck they called it. Rumspringa! Yeah, I remember the movie now.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah, that's cool. Did you? How long you been doing comedy?
I've been doing comedy for, 10 months now? I started January 10th of this year.
Yeah? What was your first stage?
Right here, the one we're sitting on.
The legendary
Nice.
Marty.
Nothing but
That's
the
awesome.
best,
I think that's the
baby.
first. That's the first, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the first answer?
That's a
First
nah.
Marty's answer?
He's like,
Was
I
Jay
right
Green first here?
Nah, he said he started. Nah, Urban
He said Sal's.
Sal's or something.
He
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
I can't believe it pulled it. Yeah, I think you might be the first because a
Yeah,
lot of
I
people
mean-
do Comedy Store.
Yeah,
A
well,
lot of
I
people
had
say
a-
Comedy Store and Sunset Grill
Yeah.
has been a popular one.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a false start. So actually, like, my first set was 2 years ago. But I don't,
False start?
yeah, but I don't count
Rewind.
Because when people say that they started and they did one set and then didn't do it for a while, I don't feel like that's the real start. The real start for me was January this year. My first time on stage was West Side in Santa Monica. And I bombed. I ate such a bag of dicks, I didn't do it again for another year and a half.
Really?
Yep.
Damn. And then you came back here?
Yeah, until Chelsea. It was actually, I was chilling with Chelsea Girl at the store, and I
Yeah.
told her about it. And I was like, I always wanted to do it, but I sucked at it. She's like, you got to keep doing it, man. You can't do it once.
Right.
Nobody's good the
Yeah.
first time. Some people are, but they're freaks. Get back up. So she brought me here, and then the second time I came here, I got on stage, January 10th.
I'm one of those freaks. I did good my first time. But that is badass, man. Yeah, I remember you walking in here with Chelsea. We all thought you was fucking her.
Yeah, everybody
Keep it
did.
real,
Yeah,
you know?
no, 100%.
But-
Everybody did.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
100% true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
Yep.
Now you're a musician though.
Yeah, I started off as a musician.
That
yeah.
helps.
Yeah, it
Because
does.
like with
Oh,
the
yeah.
stage fright, did you get over that pretty quickly?
Very quickly,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm also a trained actor too, so I spent
Okay.
3 years training. Being on stage twice a week acting. Before that, I started singing when I was 9. My first band, I was 13, and I basically played until I moved out here.
So there's a definite difference in comedy stage fright and music stage fright. And I only know
yes.
this from experience because here recently, Marty caught me rapping one day, and he's fucking ever since he's made me open all the showcase shows with rapping, as y'all all know and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was like, man, I remember like that. The first couple ones, it didn't bother me. I was just like, doing my thing. But then when I started getting compliments, he started telling me it was good. People was like, man, you did real good up there, Easter. That was really cool. And da 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 da. So then like that third show, I remember being fucking nervous for that shit. Like, fuck, man, I hope I ain't like stumbling through words and shit and all that bullshit. I was just like, like nervous. And I was like, wow, I'm never like this for comedy. Like this is a different kind of nervousness.
A lot of
Yeah,
people,
and I think that's why, like, sorry, I mean to cut you off, Kyle. It's like, I think that's the reason why I wasn't nervous getting up to do stand-up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I had gone through that, which is like you have one, and that's exactly what it is. Your first time playing, you don't know if you're going to be good.
Yeah, right.
So I went out. I don't
you
give
know
a fuck.
that they know the fucking words. That's what's harder about music.
Hell yeah.
You know the
Yeah.
motherfuckers out there know the
Yep.
words. So if you're singing like a cover like I do, I just rap other people's shit.
And you
And
skip
if
a lyric
you
or
fuck
be
up,
like, "Ah,
they
Dude,
gonna
now-
laugh or fuck with you.
Now, imagine having to play an instrument where they can clearly hear if you're playing it correctly or not at the same time. So
Yeah.
you got to get the words right, the melody right, the fucking all the chords. You got to remember all. It's so much pressure.
Cocaine.
You know what I'm saying? And then you get up on stage and you just have, having to be funny is a different kind of pressure. But there's a relaxation that comes with just speaking into a microphone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if you accept that you have to bomb. I feel like you make it harder on yourself if you're like, I can't bomb. Like, no. I welcome bombs. I want to eat a big bag of dicks as many times as I have to until I'm good.
I
You know what I'm
heard.
saying?
Yeah, I heard. I think it was Bobby Lee. I think he said this on the podcast. He said you have to bomb 100 times before you're a good comic. And that's always stuck and resonated with me every time. And every time I bomb,
I think he
I'm
just says that because he's
That's a
bombed over
lot
100
of times.
times.
Though. You gotta think.
That might be
100
true.
times
Bullshit.
is a
Yeah.
lot of times, and you gotta think as you keep doing it, they don't get consistent bombs. 100's a lot.
Yeah, that's because he
After
was
100
very
bombs,
shitty
you're
at
probably
first.
good.
my favorite mic that I go to is like an open mic that's a lot of musicians. And for them, they're always like, oh my gosh, how do you get up there and like just don't use an instrument, you just talk. And so like sometimes it's the opposite. Like you do comedy on the regular, and so like then you get nervous for doing music. But people who do music all the time, then they're like, oh gosh, I could never just like hold a microphone.
I know, yeah.
It's
That's
a-
why.
Yeah.
I noticed that it was a different nervousness. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing with acting too. I talk to actors who have performed on Broadway. They're equity. They memorized entire musicals and shows and had to perform under that pressure. And they're like, "How do you do it? Like, I can say other people's words, but saying your own words, like there's some kind of like mysticism to that for every other kind of performer."
Mm-hmm.
There's an
Yeah.
old saying that every comedian wants to be a rock star and every rock star wants to be a comedian.
Or a basketball player.
Or every athlete wants to be an actor, and every actor, or every athlete wants to be a rapper, and every rapper wants to be an athlete. All that shit. Yeah, we all. I just think that talented people are talented. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
if you talented motherfucker, you're gonna have more than one usually. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, They don't know how fire Tommy Easter is at basketball. But God damn it.
God damn it.
He's a monster
That
out there.
motherfucker can
you know?
move.
So, yeah. So, it's like, not only am I funny, not only can I drain that 3 in your eye, I'll make a good-ass joke about it, motherfucker. Bang, bang, bang. But, all right, yeah. So, fucking, what else was I going to ask you? Because you went right to the bombing story.
Yeah, I mean,
What was your best? Have you had like a best show yet? Like that you feel that you
Yes.
just fucking ripped that bitch apart?
Yeah, I do. When I went to Vegas, and I think it's just because it was a regular crowd.
Was it a
and
slammy show?
It was no, it was actually Diaz hooked me up with it.
Diaz
The same-
Mackey.
Yeah, the same way he like I've heard you talk about on the podcast. He hooked
Yeah.
you up when you first moved.
What,
when I first
where'd he
came,
take you?
Sapphire. The strip
Oh yeah,
club.
Phil Pareto.
Yeah. So that was a dope show because it's crazy. They walk you out. Strippers walk you out, and they're topless. So like this topless chick walks up to me right before I'm going on stage. I'm nervous as fuck. Been doing comedy 3 months. You know what I mean? Barely have a set. And she comes up with her tits out. Beautiful woman. And she's like, "Do you want me to do anything special?" And I was like, "What? Like, what are you doing?" I had no idea she was saying like a dance or something when she was taking me out. So anyway, she took me out, and it was I'd say about 200 people. And I just had to let go of all the nerves and shit. And I just started like, bah, and I just went nuts. And they loved it. Like, they actually gave me 2. I only had an 8. I was only supposed to have 8, and they gave me 12 because I was doing that well. And it was great. I think it was just because that audience was already like tuned in, and they really wanted to laugh and shit. And it was like a regular crowd.
Yeah, regular crowds are great.
Yeah, but
They're
that
wonderful.
was like that was a really good sense of like
Got brought out with titties.
Can't-
That puts everybody in a good mood.
by a dime, dime.
Yeah,
piece, too.
dime titties. Dime titties
Yeah.
bring smiles for miles.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. You know what I'm saying?
Hell
Them
yeah.
motherfuckers right there, boy. Even the women were smiling like, "Ooh, she got some pretty titties."
Yeah,
I remember when mine looked like that.
Yeah, and I think it's also because it's a liberal town, and like a lot of my material is about being gay and shit. Like
Yeah.
I do like a good gay voice, so like that was my first bit.
Yeah.
And they
I was about
ate
to
it
be
up.
like, you're gay?
No.
All gay Kyle.
All gay Kyle. That's why they call me All Gay Kyle, because I'm a sensitive dude, and I can like, you know what I mean? I'm that.
Breaking news with Easter.
We could make Kyle start crying on this podcast.
Oh, I could
Definitely.
cry within 3 minutes. If you asked me to, I could do an emotional preparation and cry right now.
He said I could just do emotional preparation.
Yeah, man.
and
Fucking
cry right
actors,
now.
man.
Fucking
I know, dude.
actors. God damn. That's the most actor shit ever said on the Cloud and Granite podcast. An emotional preparation.
That's what it's called. That's what it's
Holy
called.
shit. That's what girlfriends do before they argue with you.
Oh,
you
just
know?
bring
That's
it up.
exactly what the fuck that
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
They're all actors.
Yeah, they practice arguments in their head and shit.
Man.
They run the full
Create
script.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Any rebuttals that you have, they've already thought of like 5
Right?
times.
Oh yeah, that's why
Oh,
they're ready.
man.
It's always chambered.
And you're defensive? Now you're defensive?
Oh,
Now
I
you're
knew you were gonna
defensive.
do this. You do this every single time, Kyle.
Oh, now you're going to turn the PlayStation on.
Yeah.
I got to ignore you somehow, bitch.
Exactly. It's always that. See, I knew you didn't care about me. Now you're playing
Takes
PlayStation.
a strong form of entertainment to drown out your high-pitched voice.
Yeah.
You push my buttons, I push these buttons.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, shit. Jim Beam's giving me the wrap-up finger.
There we go.
We gonna wrap it up. I'll take it.
You got? I know. It's cool because I left that USB cable, so we're running on battery power.
Oh,
And
really?
we
Are you getting low?
We're good. Yeah.
Oh,
but
you're good.
We made
so
it.
You,
yeah.
you got to test something out today
Yeah,
too, huh?
yeah, pushed
See
it
how he
to the
does me, people.
limits.
Fuck the professionalism. Let's just test some shit today.
Let's
You know what I'm
just
saying?
run
What if it would have died halfway through the goddamn podcast? You know, I'd have been like, so the reason why I went to the car. You know what I'm saying? Y'all would have been
Now,
like, what the did he sneak in? Did he not? Holy shit, I seen the pictures. Did you go in? Tommy Easter, did you go in the Comedy Store? The answer is
Find out next week.
no battery. All right, you bad motherfuckers. Thanks for all the love and support. I'm going to let these guys tell you where you can find them on social media. Tell them what's up, Kyle.
I'm at Kyle Monaghan, like iPhone, but my name.
I'm at I got Kyle. What the fuck is wrong with it? We're just
These fucking
Yeah, I
Kyles.
in front of every. We both picked it up.
Both
years,
Kyles.
Both Kyles.
years before each other.
Great
Put
minds,
an
bro.
I right
Great
in front of it.
They're both eye dorks. That's bang, bang, bang.
At Jeremy Beam on Twitter, Jeremy T Beam on Instagram.
I'm at ATLian on Twitter and Mr. Easter on Instagram, Tommy Easter on Facebook, and
cloudyandrowdy@gmail.com.
cloudyandrowdy@gmail.com.
Hashtag cloudyandrowdy.
Parasmoke Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 420. And the Easter Army staying strong out there. Keep mobbing. Be yourself. Stay real. I love you bad motherfuckers. Bang, bang, bang.